I want to introduce our managing director and founder, Sean O'Sullivan. He is very polite about his background, so I'll say that he's one of the original internet entrepreneurs. In his college dorm room in the late 1980s, sorry, you're old too. So in his college dorm room in the late 1980s, he created something where if you have a box and you type an address in it, it shows up as a dot on a map. Okay, it's something that you probably all use to get here today. Built it up to a company with 1,000 employees, public on the NASDAQ. Later on, after doing a rock band, he started the first cloud computing company and actually co-coined the term with a colleague from Compaq, co-coined the term cloud computing. He tried to trademark it, but they wouldn't give it to him.
Actually, I did trademark it.
Oh, you did trademark it. Okay, sorry, he did trademark it. And the reason why you can use the term cloud computing today is because he lets you. And IBM or SAP is not squatting on it. So with that, I'll give you Sean O'Sullivan. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah, so we're here today to see 8 great companies. You know, as an entrepreneur myself, I went through that experience of trying to start a company and, you know, struggling through it, growing up as I'm doing it, as a young founder, 21 years old when I started my first company, not knowing what I'm doing. And so when we look at SOSV and what SOSV is trying to do, we're like the entrepreneurs that you're going to see today. We see a need in the marketplace. The entrepreneurs exist because they are trying to change the world. They're not happy with the world as it is. The world, for some reason, in the mind of the entrepreneur, just has a gap, a pain point that needs to be filled. The pain point that we at SOSV saw was that it is a very lonely thing to start a company. It is a very difficult thing to do it by yourself without the knowledge of how to skip through the mysteries and the secrets of an industry, how to negotiate yourself with funds and with financing and term sheets and suppliers and all of the elements, all the secrets that are hidden from entrepreneurs as they're getting started. So that's why SOSV created ourselves, you know, as the accelerator VC. We think that the VC industry, in fact, needs to be improved, and that's why we have focused with the programs that we run here and that we're now bringing to Taiwan, MOX, on helping create a community around entrepreneurship, where young founders and their young teams can go faster and go further in a very short period of time by sharing a community. It started here in Taiwan just a few months ago, and will continue, as William said, for the rest of their lives. So that's what we do. We do that. This is the first program we've ever established in Taiwan. We've backed many Taiwanese companies before through other accelerator programs that we run globally. We run the world's leading programs in hardware, a program called HACS, and in wetware or biology, a program called IndieBio, and FoodX, China Accelerator. UrbanX is a new program we're starting in New York. So we believe that by specializing in one area, in one vertical, and really going very, very deep in that we offer a lot of value to the founders as they're getting going. Our purpose is to help, as we said, accelerate their progress, not just with the mentoring. When I was getting started, I didn't get started just by myself and my team. I had other people who had been through the ropes before, older people who took me under their wings and helped me, guided me through the process of how you can manage a team, how you can negotiate with customers, you know, sales techniques and whatnot. these are the shortcuts we're trying to give to the people that go through our programs. We have, as with William and many of the other people that are involved in the program and involved with SOSV, we have staff that, like myself, have brought companies public, have built companies with hundreds of millions in revenue and hundreds of thousands of employees, and we're willingly sharing that with the founders so that they can go further, go faster. We have actually around 60 staff globally right now through our various accelerator programs that we have worldwide, and over 1,000 mentors in the various programs that we're running globally. And we're very, very happy to be bringing that to Taiwan and to be tapping into all the capabilities that have been here, and then the world looks to Taiwan for so much in technology, and now we're hoping to tap into the incredible talent stream that's here and the community that's here, and helping build and be part of that community going forward. So, oh yeah, and we make money. So when you do things, you know, that have a profound value, you know, and if you can actually really change, if you can accelerate a company and cut off years of work, and make them go further, go faster, you can actually make money doing it. And it's a good thing for the world. Because when we think about, in the end, that pain that we have as entrepreneurs that we want to solve for the world. And in the case of SOSV, that pain is, you know, having people be pounding their head against the wall in this lonely experience of trying to get a startup working. And many times that's failing, right? But creating a community around those entrepreneurs and making it more possible for more of them to succeed. That's the pain that we're trying to solve. But that also means that those entrepreneurs are going further, are getting better results. And as a result, as an investor, we do have an exceptional rate of return. And it's nice to be able to have that kind of contribution to society and make money. So that's it, and on to the first presenter, excuse me, Anita from Startup Stadium, where we have been running MOX.
Yeah, correct.
Thanks, Sean and William, for having me. So actually, this is a MOX event. And the role that Taiwan Startup Stadium has been played pretty much is the place that's happening. So Taiwan Startup Stadium, for some that you may not be familiar with, were launched in May last year, so literally about 10 months ago. And we have the vision to internationalize the Taiwan startup ecosystem, pretty much like what William was saying and Paul was saying at the beginning. So, you know, we were very pleased to be MOX Taiwan partner for the past 2 months, and actually hearing people speaking Korean, you know, Spanish, and whatever Hebrew and whatever other language that we don't know. If we haven't really known you well, you got the last few days after your demo day, you know, to really make some more friends. And what I'm hoping is actually, as what William was saying, Taiwan startup ecosystem has been pretty active and vibrant in the past few years. And what we hope to add to the ecosystem is for the extension with international flavor, international connections. And that's what we have been actually working to do. So I know that for all the teams presenting later, you are not allowed to show anything with audio. So I prepared some audio entertainment for you about what Startup Stadium does. So default, every program that we run, people have to speak English. That's a collaboration with 500 startups. I work with SOSV mentors with international experience, and going to TechCrunch shop last year with 12 teams from Taiwan. That's the current president. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I would leave for the 8 teams that's presenting later. Go rock the world, and hope you have great presentation.
What's the ball stands for? You play basketball?
Yeah, we were supposed to move into a football stadium, but you're welcome to play.
All right, guys, thank you everybody so much for sitting and watching by for this. And now to the real reason why we are all here. Let's start demo day, batch 1. So please welcome up to Demyst Data. Demyst, come on.
Hello, thank you very much for taking the time to come and listen. Look, I wanted to introduce you to a guy I know. His name is Abdul. Now, Abdul lives on the Bankar Islands, which is just off the east coast of Sumatra. And he has a small business. What he does is he takes old, broken electrical motors, he reconditions them, and then he sells them as spare parts. Now, it's not going to make him rich, but it does keep him and his family comfortable in a modest lifestyle. Now, February the 3rd was actually a pretty bad day for Abdul because there was a fire. It started off at a restaurant just up the road, and then it suddenly overtook the entire block, and the fire department came, but by the time they came, it was too late. His shop, his stock, his tools, his livelihood was just gone. Now, if Abdul lived in the same world that you and I live in, he could have gone to a bank. He could have gone alone, bought some tools, and restarted his business. But he doesn't live in the same world that you and I do. He doesn't even have a bank account. In fact, if he doesn't actually have family or friends that can actually give him the money to help him get back on his feet again, he's going to slip into poverty. And he's going to take his family with him. Now, the reason why Abdul cannot get a loan is fairly simple. The banks are critically dependent upon credit bureaus in order to be able to make lending decisions. Now, there are over 3 billion people in emerging markets of Asia, but there are only 585 million credit profiles. As far as the banks are concerned, if you're not one of those 585 million people, you're a ghost. But Abdul's not a ghost. He walks the same earth as you and I. He leaves a footprint. And like the rest of the people in the Asian emerging markets, he has a mobile phone. So when women told us about this opportunity, we were really excited because we realized that we could help Abdul by utilizing the information on his mobile phone. Now, the mobile phone is an amazing device. It's possibly the most personal device ever created. With that information, I can tell where you are. I know where you've been. And this one's kind of interesting. See that one in the middle? That message? That's from my bank. It's telling me that there's been payments made into my credit card. I know who's been calling you and who you've been calling. I know what time you woke up. I have a pretty good idea what you've been doing with your day, and I probably know something about your family. Now, I can see there's a few people in the room getting a little uncomfortable with this story. I promise you, I do not spend my days trawling through my phone records, okay? But what we do is we utilize sophisticated analytical techniques in order to be able to extract signal from this information. Signals that we can use to be able to make credit decisions. So the concept here is really very simple. Gmobi has the ability to be able to push ads to 150 mobile phones worldwide. So we put an ad out onto the phone. Should the user choose to reply to that ad, we download an app where they can actually put in some personal information and give us permission to utilize the information that's on their phone. That's all packaged up and sent to our credit engine. There we can also enrich the data with other data sources we have available and create a credit score. And based on that credit score, we can make a lending decision. Now, for those people who actually pass the credit criteria, we push them off to one of our lending partner, who operates in 11 different countries, many of those countries in Southeast Asia, and covers about 60% of the market that Gmobi is actually operating in. They distribute the cash, they collect the repayments, and they pay us a commission. So, what do we expect to get out of this? Well, after a development period, in the first 3 years of operation, we expect to generate revenues of 190 million. That will be connecting 6.6 million people in the emerging markets to the global financial system. That will be over 750 million in fresh loans granted. And that's just the first 3 months. That's just the first 3 years. Now, Demyst data is uniquely capable of actually leveraging this opportunity, because what we do is we work with large, messy, unstructured data. We structure it and we serve it up to some of the biggest financial players in the world. So this type of thing is what we do all the time, actually. The company was founded by Mark Hookey. Now, Mark founded the company because he actually had the experience of being rejected for a credit card when he moved to New York, and it was for exactly the same reasons that Apple would be rejected, because he didn't have a footprint in the bureau. Now, he had just sold a company at this point, so he had money. And he just thought, look, there's so much information out there about people. This is ridiculous. If they just knew a little bit more about me, then they'll find out that I'll be a fantastic customer. So he started Demyst data. Oliver Merrick. Oliver spent, before he founded Demyst data, spent 4 years as a private equity investor within the Asian markets. He knows the markets well, and he also knows how a company should run. My name is Craig Shaw, and I'm the chief scientist from Demyst data. I've spent my career building the brains in a bank. They're automated decisioning processes. There's a lot I don't know, but I do know how to win money. Our VP of Engineering is Brendan Grace. Now, Brendan is an amazing engineer. He spent 15 years working in high tech within the industries in the US. His last company that he was with was called Collective, which is one of the most progressive ad tech companies in the world. Our VP for product is Jason Mintz, and he comes from the same company, Collective. What he was doing there was using natural language processing in order to be able to optimize ad placements. Now, I'm not coming here to ask for funding, although we've got a Series B coming up in about 3 to 6 months, and anybody wants to talk to us is more than welcome to. What I need, though, is I need some help. I'm here to try and connect the people in the emerging market to the global financial system, and I need help. At the moment, with our lending partner, we can cover about 60% of the people that our Gmobi has access, users that Gmobi has access to. And I need partners that can help me to expand our footprint through distributing loans and also collecting payments. I also need people with access to data, lots of data, so I can utilize that data in order to be able to improve our credit scoring capabilities. Now, I know you people are out there, so why don't we have a chat? Chit-chat.
Right, next up, we got Kitcut. Come on up.
People communicate today through pictures because it helps them to express themselves better, right? Like with this picture of Kanye West. Or this funny idea from the toilet. Or we're using stickers on every possible messaging app out there. Images are so popular today that people are actually paying apps and buying stickers that helps them to express themselves better. But here's the funny thing. In this world of images, our visual expression is actually very limited to those pre-made memes and stickers. But our thoughts, they're creative, they're original, they don't always fit in those memes and stickers. We won't have the ability to express what's in our head. Kitcut wants to revolutionize the way that people communicate with pictures. It's a platform that lets any user translate any idea into an image instantly. No Photoshop skills, no computers, just you, your phone, and your finger. How this magic works? Elections are just around the corner in the US, and I had this funny idea. What would happen if Miley Cyrus would run for president? Right? It's pretty weird. So I open the app, and I initially see content created by other people. But then I can start creating on my own, and I search for an image, any image I want from the web. I choose a picture that fits me well, and I can simply cut it with my finger. It's really intuitive. I add a picture, then I add another picture that fits even better. I can add even a hat. I write some text, Miley for president, a little bit of doodle, and that's it. It was in my mind, but now it's in my phone. I can share it socially, or I can share it as a message. Now, this is my twisted idea, but let's see what other people are creating in the app. We have beautifully designed and creative. We've got simple, smart. We've got political stuff as well. And simply awesome stuff. Now, a month ago, we partnered with Bubleye in order to penetrate into emerging markets. And the result is amazing. Over just 2 weeks of marketing, we were able to grow in 300,000 users. We actually started 5 months ago in the US market, where we reached 120,000 users. Now, what was amazing is that those 120,000 users created 600,000 Kitcuts. It wasn't 5% of the people creating. We had 46% of the people creating content. And it didn't stay for a week or 2 weeks. More than 27% stayed over a month in the app. So today we reached already 500,000 users. And this is just the beginning. Kitcut wants to be the central authority for visual meshes. It means that in the same way, today, when you're thinking about taking a picture, you're thinking about Instagram. When you'll be thinking in the future about memes and stickers and visual meshes, you're going to be thinking about Kitcut. And how we're doing it? We're starting by penetrating the most relevant target audience that can make this revolution. Teenagers. They're the most creative, viral crowd out there, and they're spending hours on their phones. But we're not going to settle for that. We're going to make sure that the app is viral enough to itself. So when using Kitcut, you can share Facebook, Line, WeChat, any platform you want. And when you share it, there's going to be a watermark, making sure that it's clear where it was sent from. And this way, we're going to make sure that the stakes for being viral and reaching our goals are not as high in this Kitcut. Our business model is based on a proven business model of Line app, which today is making a quarter $250 million. Only it's better. It's basically based on building a marketplace, selling content to users, and ads. Kitcut Marketplace is based on users that create templates within the app. But our biggest advantage over Line is that any user can create content. You don't need to be a graphic designer or professional editor. You can simply open the app and create yourself a template. This content can be later customized by the rest of the users. And users on the other side can buy packages of templates, pay for a billing system, if it's Gmobile, Play Store, or iPhone, and then we split the revenue. The next thing that is pretty amazing is personalized ads. Imagine your face on a Pepsi ad or on a burger from McDonald's. Kitcut's unique way of content will allow us to do something that was never done before, is personalized ads. This is done with our team, which is the best team to make this happen because it has the most creative people, the best technology, and a lot of experience. We've been in mobile since mobile started. We already built 2 very big apps, which reached over 500,000 users in user-generated content apps. and we've taken all the things that we learned and we put it into Kitcut. So for that, we're today raising $1 million, and we're looking for an investor that see the vision the same way that we see. And if you see that, then please come and meet us at our booth. We want to talk with you about the future. Thank you.
Good afternoon, guys. Imagine you are Alok, our co-founder. Like many Indians, Alok grew up in India but moved abroad for university to the Philippines and then to the UK for work. Alok moved all around the world, but his friends and family are still in India. Now, India is a massive gift-giving country with hundreds of festivals and millions of gifts exchanged every year. Alok had trouble keeping up with the expectation of his family and friends to send gifts across to them on every important occasion, and he often failed to make his family happy. Like Alok, there are many Indians who face similar problems. We created a startup to solve this problem. Now, gifting in India has three major problems. Trust. How do you find vendors in each city who are not fake? Because when you Google it, you get 500,000 responses. What do you do with them? Choice. How do you find the right gift for each occasion suiting your budget? While some platforms deliver only e-gifts, the others deals in physical products only. Convenience. How do you pay these vendors? How do you know the gift will be delivered correctly? Like Alok got his father-in-law a nice looking cake online, but was super embarrassed to see what got delivered was this. Now, since India is a huge gifting country, these problems definitely create a broken user experience. And that is why we strongly believe Gift on the Go has an important role to play in the way people gift in India. Gift on the Go solves this problem by creating a cross-border mobile gifting platform for users to access a wide range of gifts from online to offline products, and all of this from the best local vendors. Would like to show you how the app works. Now, India is a massive gift-giving country with many festivals, and Gift on the Go is the perfect way to deliver the gifts across to your loved ones from anywhere in the world. Just select the category of your choice, choose from 22 important cities in India, wide range of products from cakes, flowers, chocolates, e-gifts, and more. Just select the gift of your choice, tap on it, enter the delivery details in few easy steps with a special message for your loved ones, pay through multiple easy payment options from anywhere in the world, and there you go. That's truly love delivered for us. Now, the gifting market in India is worth $20 billion, out of which only about 500 million happens online. The market is too fragmented, and there is no one player who has organized all of this in mobile. Looking at the market closely, there are e-commerce players who typically operate on the web, and then there are gifting portals who operate on the web and also on a specific category of gifting. And then there is Gift on the Go, who has an advantage over all of them, primarily because we are a mobile-first platform, specifically for a country like India where people access internet for the first time on their mobile. Secondly, because we have aggregated both online and offline products under one platform. And thirdly, because we directly work with vendors to ensure what gets delivered is of extremely high quality, unlike our competitors who typically work on an affiliate model, either through brokers or agents. We are present across 22 cities in India, and that pretty much covers the top major metros and tier 1 cities. We have a strong network of about 100 odd curated vendors, and these are the top bakeries and florists in each city. And now we have also added the top online retailers on our network. We have a pretty diverse team working on the product. All of us got together in 2008 at Buongiorno, which was one of the biggest mobile platform in the world. Alok, apart from being the CEO of the organization, heads product and strategy for us, has 7+ years of experience across various product roles in India and the UK. Tushar heads operations for us with 10+ years of experience in mobile financial system and loyalty. His last stint was with Ericsson, where he managed mobile payments for Southeast Asia. Upkar heads tech and engineering for us, has 10+ years of experience across multiple mobile platforms in both India and the UK. And I'm Niladri, I head business development, had 9+ years of experience across various business development and sales roles with industry leaders such as Airtel and Docomo. My last stint was with Hype Messenger, the biggest messaging app in India, as head of business development. Since we joined MOX, we have had about 14,000 installs on the app and seen a steady growth over the last few weeks. And we are already making revenues. We are doing about 50 orders a week and seen a considerable and significant growth week on week over the last 2 months. So, we are raising $1 million, primarily to expand our vendor network and to extend our reach to multiple more cities in India and abroad. We would love to have a chat with you. We have a booth right up there. Do come and talk to us. Thank you.
All of you when you were younger read comics that probably looked something like this. Or if you grew up in Asia, or perhaps in Taiwan, perhaps they look something more similar to this. The point is that we loved comics when we were younger, and we paid money for this, and the creators made a lot of money. But the problem for kids today is that they don't read comic books as much as we do. They don't carry around the books that we did, and instead they carry around smartphones or phones. For these kids, finding comics that they want to read on their device is a problem. It's a challenge for them. And for creators, they're not making any money. Let me explain. This is one of our artists that we met up about a little over 2 years ago. Before she got in touch with us, she had reviews around the world, anywhere from around 500K to 4 million views per episode. But she wasn't making any money off of it because they were all pirated. I want to take a look at this specific area in Southeast Asia and including India, where there's people around the age of 10 to 25, prime comic reading ages, and there's already 518 million of them out there. For these countries, where it's a mobile first and mobile only market, they don't have PCs. They instead have phones. So what does that mean? It means they can't even pirate the comics, because trying to pirate on your phone, try that, it's really hard. So our solution is Tappytoon. We bring the comics to the world to smartphones, including this area, and on smartphones and mobile devices everywhere. We license with the artists and creators, collect all their comics, put it into our app, and we serve it on the app stores. That's pretty simple to understand, right? And we make money off of it by monetizing them. I'll show you how it works. It's really simple. You look through our app, it looks really great. Pick something that you like, choose an episode, and you start reading. That's it. That's the end of my demo pitch. So there's an ad at the bottom. We monetize it with this advertising in-app purchases, and it's something that's worked very well for other groups like stickers and music. You buy music online, then the iTunes store and things like that. So it's really simple to understand. And speaking of music, I want to talk about where Tappytoon stands today. Tappytoon, the music industry was almost really killed by pirates back in the day. Some of you probably use Napster and stuff like that, so you know. But then iTunes came along and made the purchasing option very simple. It was so simple to use that you just spent your money. Spotify came along, and now you don't even have to pay your money. You just stream the music. There's no need for pirating. It's so easy to use. It's what Viki did for dramas and what Netflix did for movies. It was a market-changing solution for both content creators and consumers. That's what we're doing for comics at Tappytoon. My CEO and co-founder's son managed the film markets at two of Korea's biggest, largest film festivals, connecting global co-productions and acquisitions teams. I have 10 years of experience in media, including marketing and acquiring users for some of the biggest names in smartphone games, and also did comics before, bringing some of the first Korean titles to the world in bookstores all around the world. So June also led great teams and development at some of the most important and biggest travel sites and consumer-facing app services. And Michael makes sure that everything looks great. We have mentors in everything from, specialized in everything from data-driven growth, product optimization, as well as new media initiatives for these mobile-centered and mobile-first markets. You all know how popular Korean dramas and Korean films are around Southeast Asia and even the whole world. Some of these dramas and films, you probably didn't know, are actually based on comics. We've signed some of the biggest names in this comic space, and we've got exclusive licenses to distribute their comics already. And we have government support to make this content go out into the world in a big way. We've also done things that don't scale as well, but it's important for us because we need these things to acquire the users and the business relationships that we need and prove that what we're doing will work. We've contacted individual artists and really popular artists to create completely new IP. These are titles that you can't read anywhere else except in our service. And we can utilize that new IP in all these other different things like games and media and all the translations as well. We're on track to grow our library with these licenses and these new partnerships and new content to 20 times more what we started just under last year, just under 1 year. Our users are reading almost five minutes per session each time. That's longer than most social networking sessions in this area. And the more time they spend with our apps, the more times they'll see the advertising, the more times they'll see more content, and they'll read our comics. We've grown from a limited number of countries that looked like this before. With MOX, we've been able to grow to 200,000 users in over 97 countries, and we've served over 500,000 comics. And this is possible because our comics are all in English. We're raising $1 million. We have something that works, we have something that people love, and we'd love to talk to you to grow our library, grow our partnerships, and grow our content networks into more languages that our users are clamoring for. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. So we have a fireside chat real quick with William and Sean, and we're going to be talking about the startup ecosystem, entrepreneurs, going global. We're going to do this for about 5 or 6 minutes, and I'm going to give the mic to William real quick.
Thanks. So usually this is about the time when we thank all of our mentors. For MOX, we actually spent most of our time flying the mentors in from around the world. But I think we've got one mentor in the audience, Phil. So you're going to represent all of our global mentors. If you could stand up and everybody can applaud Phil. He relocated here from Guangzhou about a year ago, and is doing his next startup here in Taiwan. So anyway, on behalf of all the mentors, thank you, Phil. Okay, great. So before we get started, I'd just like to say a shout out to the team. I don't know whether you met them yet. So you got Justin and Eric, who are our analysts. David is hiding in the back. He's in charge of community development. We're going to be having a great film festival, and we're sponsoring a cool VR, virtual reality, augmented reality session during the Urban Nomad Film Festival. You already met Ryan, and then Lynn is also hiding behind the television there. She's our awesome office manager. So before we get started with the fireside chat, I'd just like to bring Paul up. So you've heard a lot about Gmobi in the first 4 pitches. So Paul, please come up, say a couple words, introduce yourself. So Paul is the CEO of Gmobi.
Thanks everyone. My name is Paul. I'm the CEO and founder of Gmobi. I actually quit from the big company 5 years ago from MediaTek to start the Gmobi. So as an entrepreneur, so I've been many top pace of creating a company. So when William told me 6 months ago he has an idea how to create a MOX, I said to William, truly yes, because I always had a dream, because Taiwan is a very hardware-centric country. So I want to do some little thing for my country and try to bring the international company to Taiwan and bring the Taiwan staff to go global. This is always a dream, and I want to start to make these dreams slowly and smoothly and educate it and make it come true. So we have the MOX. And originally I think this is a very easy job. But because I never worked on a acceleration program before. I'm always thinking, oh, I'm just the mentor thing. I'm good at mentor, and as one-on-one mentor. But actually, this is the whole teamwork with my company and the MOX over mentor and the program execution team. So in the past 2 months, we have lots of the fight internally and also with the MOX. But I think this finally comes with a very sweet result. And we all have some lesson learned, but I think the batch one is still very, very good, and we believe in the next batch will be even better. So I'm very excited and looking forward the growth of the MOX society. Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot. No, very much. Okay, so there's
Can I invite you up? And everybody up?
Yeah.
I just got a few questions that I think I could ask everybody, if this mic works. So between William and Sean, you guys have seen a lot of communities for entrepreneurs all over the world. Do you guys have any ideas or thoughts on what ties together startup communities?
Suffering, yeah. Agony, pain, going through the crucible of death together. I think that's what actually brings people together. Like, it's like, there's these terrible things like hazing in fraternities and things like that, where you actually go through these experiences of difficulty, and that's what startups are. I mean, it's just incredibly hard to go from zero to hero, go from nothing to something, and it's such a leap. You're leaping off a cliff and you don't know if you're just gonna, hit the rocks and die, and blood all over, and fail, and it feels like that a lot of the time. But when everyone's going through that experience together, and when you have a little bit of support and everyone's trying to help each other through it, I think there's a lot to this game which is just purely a psychological element of how do you survive. And when you can build a community and you learn from that, it's not a loner's game, it's a team game. It's not the iconoclastic dictator figure that succeeds. It's somebody that can draw other people into their dream and share that dream. I think is what we're trying to help create, and creating a foundation for companies is realizing you can't solve it all yourself, but you have to rely on the community and share ideas and share share the pain. As they say, my wife told me this. She said, a journey shared doubles the joy, you know, when you have some joy, we share it together, or you have twice as much joy, and halves the pain, right? So when you have a pain, we can share through the pain. So that I think is what accelerators are about somewhat, to try to create a community, not just for today, but for every day, a lifelong experience of community.
Yeah, I think one of the main things we focus on is it's not just Brian and I and Eric and Justin and Dave and Lynn or even Sean who put this together. It's really our mentors. They don't get paid. They spend their time flying to Taiwan for 2 or 3 days. I mean, okay, we feed them, so they're pretty happy. Food here is great, but they're spending time one-on-one with the companies, and then we ask them for follow-ons. You know, guys like Steffi, who actually grew up in Taiwan, even though he's Israeli, he sort of speaks Taiwanese, Chinese, Taiwanese, none at all. Only to pick up girls, sorry. He, you know, he's like, you know, just half an hour meetings are not enough. You know, you have to do an hour or else, you know, it's not worth it for me or the companies. So we try to build a mentor community, and it's a global community. And that's one of the things we're trying to bring to bear here. And our goal is actually to have, in the future, the successful entrepreneurs in Taiwan come out and mentor, and to the future successful entrepreneurs in Taiwan come out and mentor. And you know, Anita's done a great job with, I don't know what you call them, like the starting line or something now? Yeah, okay. Great group of mentors, Taiwanese from around the world who come out and help all of the entrepreneurs here. So, yeah, just about giving back.
Yeah, so Sean, you started your first startup in your dorm room. And so I guess, how do we inspire more entrepreneurs, more people to start early, to not be afraid to fail, to grow global? It happened for you, but how do we get more of that?
Well, I think, you know, we live in an age where it's actually quite easy. I studied engineering, and I actually think that entrepreneurship should be a required course, you know, for commercialization, whatever you want to call it, before you graduate college, because that's what happened in my case. I took a course called Principles of Entrepreneurship my last semester, and so from that I did a business plan, and we just sort of, and we had this business plan competition. We did okay. We didn't win, you know, I think that people just need to know that it's possible. It is an avenue. It is an option for people at every stage of their lives. People don't consider that a lot, but the disproportionate power that creators have in this day and age is they are instantly global if their ideas are good enough. And it's just a question of, you know, it's just a question of taking the disproportionate powers that engineers and creators have, and just opening that up to the world. Then you can actually, you know, achieve so much in a very short period of time. I just think the startup culture is something that's obviously growing here in Taiwan and Taipei and throughout the world. And I think people just need to think that it's an option for them, you know, at some stage. I think that's what accelerators help make happen, and the community helps make happen.
I think one of the reasons why we started MOX is that if you are a kid in your dorm room and you come up with a great product, it's very difficult to get it out in the world. Virality is increasingly difficult. You got guys like Facebook, and they're making money through advertising. So it's increasingly difficult to go quote unquote viral. It'd be very difficult for Mark Zuckerberg to come out today and get to you know, tens of thousands or millions of people, because promotion is now, but by and large, Twitter, Facebook, Google, it's all paid. So if you look at the top 20 startups, top 20 sites in the US, in the last 4 years, I think there's only one of them that has actually been founded within the last 4 years. So for MOX, one of the reasons we're trying to level the playing field, and if you've got a good product or platform or service and the people love it, we're trying to open up users to you and a way to make money. Whereas right now, it seems like there's a gatekeeper, and that's the catch. So we're trying to remove that barrier.
All right, so last question, real quick, before we get back to the pitches. If you had one piece of advice, favorite quote, favorite saying that helps drive you forward, just could you share that?
You know, I'm just going to copy what Sean said. I mean, starting up is a real pain in the ass. Starting up this accelerator was not the easiest thing in the world, but doing it 6 months later or a year later wouldn't have made it any less easy. Whenever you start something up, it's going to be tough. So it's a lot easier to do it together. You know, just do it together.
I wish I could remember quotes. I never remember quotes. I always butcher them. I'm going to try to butcher a quote now, because I can't even remember how it goes. It's by, anyway, but it's basically like, to really change something, you can't make an incremental change. You have to reinvent reality, create a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. And I think that's so key. So like if you really want to have an impact on the world, you can't just be copying something and making an incremental change. It needs to be a 10x change. It needs to be a completely new way of looking at the world. Like when we did my first company, you know, maps on computers, you know, people don't really use paper maps in their cars anymore. I mean, it's very rare. That's the way people used to do things, you know, and it was a new way of thinking about, okay, well, you know, just put all the maps on a computer. You know, it's a big enough idea. It seems impossible, but you can make the impossible inevitable, you know, step by step. That is our goal, and those are the companies that we look for, are companies that have new models that make the existing model obsolete. You know, cloud computing, the old way before was, you know, have software running on the PC or software running in a client server on your local area network. Make that model obsolete, create a new model that completely invalidates the old model, and stick with it. And, you know, it'll take a really long time to completely change it. It took 7 years for the first 1 million people to type an address into a computer and see it on a street map. 7 years. It only took another 13 years beyond that for the first 1 billion people to use that technology. So, you know, you just have to have a fairly long period of time that you look at these things, but, you know, it was not that long ago that it was never done. That's the changes that you're going to see. I mean, my daughter's 10 years old. When she was born, the iPhone didn't exist. None of these apps, none of this mobile-only accelerator, it didn't exist. You know, it's amazing the change that happens if you just keep at it. So focus on that kind of, those kinds of disruptive, very long-term, new model approaches. And I think and stick with it.
Thank you guys very much. Let's get the chairs and get back to the pitches. All right. All right, so we got 4 more to go. Thank you guys for waiting so awesome, patiently. And let's get on to it. Sweet, come to the stage.
So whenever I want a crazy night out in the town, I always bring my trusty panda Adam, and I'll tell you why. I always get noticed, I always get lots of attention, and I always go home feeling happy. Sweet does that for the singles in the dating world. I want to introduce you to my friend Ritika. She's a young professional, she lives in New Delhi, she's in India, and guess what? She gets bombarded by guys on other dating apps. In fact, she's sick of it. After using Tinder, this is what she feels like. The thing is, everyone wants to feel special, and especially women, they don't want to feel like they're just a number. They don't want every guy just to say yes and say the same boring stuff to them. Hi, how are you? Where do you work? Blah. Nobody wants that. And of course, guys, we want a way to stand out. We want a way to get that girl's attention that is really special to us. So that's what Suite does, and I want to show you how. Here we have Suite on iOS. It's launching soon. It loads your profile and it loads people near you. Now, I'm gonna load from the girl's point of view. As you can see, I have photos. I have basic info like my university, my job, and about section. If she likes me, she just swipes down and likes. But if she really likes me and she wants to stand out, it's a Suite like. What she does there, she can choose exactly why I stood out to her. So it's specialized, it's personalized, and I end up feeling a lot better and a lot more special as a receiver. Women love this because, of course, it takes a little more time to do, and not everybody can send it to them. It's also how we monetize. These are scarce, and guys only get so many. So you're gonna wanna pay for more so that you can get to the front of the queue for all the most attractive, wittiest, best women out there. We're targeting the next 4 billion mobile phone users. These are people who have not used Tinder yet or are just starting to. These are people who are using their country's own customized apps. And we're doing it because we've already done it in the US and elsewhere. Here's where Suite it fits. You could say we're in the sweet spot. So Tinder is worldwide and it's targeted only with the general app. But if you look at countries like India, we have Shadi, we have other apps, and they're highly customized and not so casual. They're just for marriage. Suite bridges that gap. We're for the people who want something that's more serious than a casual hookup app, but it's a little less serious than getting married right away. How do I know this is gonna work? I've already done it. I've organically grown my other dating app down to over 3.5 million users worldwide. I've started a company called Bang with Friends that got press all over the world, and I've spoken at conferences like South by Southwest and Business Insider. I graduated from Cornell, and I've worked at Microsoft. This is my 4th startup as a CEO, and I've already raised $1 million. Our team, which I've hired here in Taipei, is top-notch. And we have design and we have coding on Android. And then, of course, we've raised money from people like Tim Draper, and we have advisors like Cindy Gallup. Down has already grown to 3.5 million users. Most of them are in the United States. We're going after the next 4 billion that are in Southeast Asia, and MOX is helping us. So what are we looking for today? We've already raised money, but of course we're always raising from the right investors. What we really want, though, are those Suite partners who want to be a part of what we're doing going forward. If you want to change the way dating is done, so that women are happier with dating apps and men in turn are happier, come join us and look for the guy in the panda hat. Thank you.
I love that hat. All one. All right, next up is Bubleye. Come on up, Bubleye. Woo! Give us
The mobile ecosystem has a damn big problem. 1% of the app developers and 1% alone earns more than the remaining 99% combined. In fact, most of these guys can't make enough money to survive. Now, why is that? Well, there's over 3 million apps in the stores, which makes it basically impossible for any of them to get noticed, unless they go for pet promotion. Well, you know what? Pet promotion is very expensive. Nowadays, a mobile game needs as much as $500,000 to get one single shot at success. And why is that again? Well, the existing solutions for acquiring users on mobile, even the most widespread ones like Facebook or Twitter, they suck. Acquiring users on mobile is like shooting in the dark, trying to hit as many eyeballs as possible in order to get a few happy users that will eventually spend time and money in your app. A different company solved a pretty similar problem in 1998 on the web. They allowed users to find their content of interest out of millions of web pages. Do you remember who that was? That was Google. Google solved this with PageRank. That is a way of scoring each individual web page based on its relevance to users. With PageRank, Google enabled a whole web-based economy that eventually led it to become the most valuable company in the world. Today, on mobile, Bubleye throws that model upside down. With billions of mobile connected users, how can apps find their most valuable ones? Bubleye answers with iRank. That is a way of scoring each individual user based on their relevance to each app. Let me give you an example. Say you need to promote a 2D fantasy role-playing game. Now, Facebook, differently than most of the other guys, allows you to target based on demographics, and that's great. So, for example, you have a user who's male, 25 years old in the US, or a user who is male, 25 in the US, or user 3 who is male, 25 in the US. Which one will you be targeting? Now, Facebook will let you buy them all and hope that one of them will convert. What Bubleye does is seek faces on those users and find that user 1 is in fact a big nerd who's super fanatic about fantasy and role-playing, and it recommends content that is relevant to him and him only. How does this work? We did hard science, meaning that over almost 2 years we have been working on a pretty unique piece of tech that basically blends machine learning, artificial intelligence, natural language processing to allow us to measure relevance. Let me show it to you in action. Say that app, Cross Your Road, wants to acquire the best suited, most valuable users. The first thing we do is we measure Cross Your Road in itself, and we programmatically understand that it's a fast-paced, dexterity arcade played in short sessions with comic, cartoony content graphics. We then rank every other app and user based on their relevance to Cross Your Road. For example, we find that Bouncy Bit is 63% relevant to Cross Your Road. And here are common attributes as well as common users. This allows us to recommend Cross Your Road to users of Bouncy Bits, as we know it is relevant to them. $10 billion were spent in 2015 alone to acquire users on mobile, up 100% from 2014. And despite this, most app developers still struggle to survive. Bubleye helps these guys make the most of their marketing budget to acquire those users that they can actually run a sustainable business with. There are two main dimensions that define success in this space. On the one hand, scale, meaning how big of an impact can we make. On the other hand, effectiveness, meaning what user quality can we drive. Now, solutions like Facebook definitely have scale, but as we have seen, lack in effectiveness. At the opposite end, manual editorial solutions like webzines or Pocket Gamer down there provide very well-informed and passionate users, but lack in scale. Bubleye sits in the sweet spot up there with the highest levels of scalability as it's completely automated. It doesn't rely on any human activity, and it pre-calculates data, just like Google does, so that whenever a request comes, we are ready to serve it right away. At the same time, we drive high user quality, as we recommend content to those users that are genuinely interested in it. The great news is, it actually works. During the MOX program, we got the opportunity to work over a growing amount of data, and we proved our ability to boost the install rate of ad campaigns over 30%. This is just the beginning. At the same time, we also proved scale, and we optimized over 1 million installs during the same period of time. Tech is definitely crucial for a product like ours. However, what matters the most is people. Each of our core team members brings in over a decade of experience and passion in one unique piece of the equation. I have been working for several years in machine learning and matchmaking recommendation systems. This is my third startup. I had an exit in 2014. My partner James has run massive mobile ad campaigns, building success for games like Clash of Kings, Tap Titans, and Cheetah Mobile and Elite. Bruce, our machine learning specialist, is a PhD with several publications and patents in the past few years. And Roman, our data ninja, is one of the first 50 MongoDB masters in the world. We're working with some of the main players in the mobile advertising space. Through MOX, we signed Gmobile, that is one of the largest and fastest growing mobile ad platforms in Southeast Asia, with over 100 million active users and 500 million weekly impressions. These companies are trusting us with their data. They let us process over 50 million data points in the last 2 months alone to improve the performance of their ad campaigns. And the same way these companies trust us with their data, we ask you to trust us with your investment. We are raising a $1 million round meant to help us support our growing customer demand. Our servers are literally on fire. We have upgraded them twice during the program. We now need more resources to take an even bigger step. We need more machine power, more engineers, and this is where you can make a difference. We are Bubleye. We are transforming the mobile ecosystem as we know it. We are creating new, more sustainable, more scalable opportunities. The last time this happened, it brought the most valuable company in the world. Now, if you want to be part of this, please do reach out to us. This is your chance. We'll be at our booth. We'll be very happy to show you how we work on magic. Thank you very much.
Let me show you some pictures. This is Taylor Swift. She has more than 60 million followers on Instagram. Here are the Kardashians. The entire family has more than 200 million followers on Instagram. They are Nicki Minaj and Beyonce. Together, more than 1 million followers on Instagram. But let me ask you a question. Do you know what all of these pictures have in common? They have millions of likes. But likes don't mean too much for these girls. But do you know what likes mean for young users like this one? Everything. Likes mean everything for teenagers. So how we can help them to get more likes? Here is Mybrana. Mybrana is a very easy to use platform that helps users to create super engaging videos for their social networks. Users just add digital effects on people and places, just in a few seconds have videos like this one. We are redefining the process to create videos with visual effects to a process that is easy, affordable, and mobile. But how easy is to record videos with Mybrana? Let's watch this example. First, you launch the app, and automatically you will see some effects around your face. You can pick the one that you want. Also, you can pick a 3D effect and add to a location that you want to place. You move, rotate, and when you are ready, you start recording video. Then you can move to another location, pick another 3D effect, drag and drop in the right position, and finish the video. Preview the video, and it's ready to be served in your favorite social network. For instance, in this case, Instagram. So the process to record these videos is really easy. A young user can do. They don't need to have a computer. They don't need to learn and to buy a very expensive and hard to learn video editing software. And well, just in a few seconds, they can add these effects. They don't need to create the effects. We have a platform full of this kind of effects. But are those videos real effective to get more likes? Here is an example. Jesus is a user of Vine, other social network. He used to post several videos every week, but he didn't get too much attention in this social network. Only six likes for this kind of post. But one day, he decided to use Mybrana and record this video, and post in Vine. And he got, in a few weeks, thousands of likes, 4,000 likes, and 4 million of views. And this video is the most watched video in this social network in Spain. He, on average, multiplied by 1,000 on all the videos that use Mybrana. Well, this is our potential market. All users, young users that want to get visibility, reputation, and increase the community that are currently in other social network or in instant messaging apps are our users. We expect to get 2% of this market in the following 2 years. Our business model is based on the effects that we sell in our app. We produce part of these effects, but also we sell the effects from other designers. Of course, we have brands creating this content to make their customers create videos as cool as this was. This is our positioning. On your left, you can see the traditional way to record these videos with visual effects. Our tools expensive, complex to learn, and you need to be to have a computer to run this software. Are really rich. They have many professional functionalities, but the time to produce this video is really long. It takes, on average, to produce 1 second of this kind of videos, half an hour, 1 hour. On your right, you can see the mobile solutions. These solutions are really easy to use and very fast to produce this kind of videos, but they don't have too many professional functionalities, only some filters, cropping, and trimming. But Mybrana is a very easy to use mobile app with professional functionality such as real-time tracking that allow users to create this kind of videos only in a few seconds. Why? Because we eliminate the post-production process. Everything happens in real time. Well, this is the team behind the project. I'm one of the founders of Mybrana. I'm the current CEO. I have more than 5 years of experience in social networks and augmented reality. I was part of the team that developed the first augmented reality helmet that currently is starting to be marketed. Alejandro is the other founder. He has a lot of experience in social network and was part of the founding team of 20, the most popular social network in Spain and South America, with more than 20 million users worldwide. That was acquired by Telefónica several years ago. Antonio and Miguel, they have a lot of experience creating social networks. They have created together 3 social networks. And Jorge used to work for Disney creating visual effects for their movies. So all together we have the experience and the expertise to take this project to the next level and to transform the world into a more interactive, fun, playable one. We are growing really fast. We have more than 400,000 users, and we expect to get, with our partnership with MOX and Gmobi, more than 5 million users at the end of this year. And our users are really engaged. They have taken more than 1 million videos last month. We have a really sticky product, and we have twice the average retention in our category. And currently, we are looking for raising $1 million in order to scale the product and to get our first $1 million in revenue by the end of this year. If you're interested, let's talk and make people to have more likes. Thank you.
Raise your hand if you take photos with your smartphone. Maybe everyone, right? These days, we take dozens of photos every day with our smartphone. Selfie, family, food, work, past, and all of our private photos. But I'm sure we all have, where is that photo moment? Because we don't organize photos. Why? It takes too many steps to do so with pre-installed photo gallery. This is a big problem to all of the smartphone users. We solved this problem introducing Taggle. Taggle is smart photo gallery based on hashtags. To provide solution, we changed the means of organizing photos from folders to hashtags. Look at this. What is the right folder for this photo? Travel or family? Too difficult. Vacay or friends? Difficult. Selfie or Halloween? It's too difficult, right? So people give up. But using Taggle, you can just multi-tab and search them later. So how to tag? we made it really simple. This is our quick tagging. It needs just one touch. And every photo really featured, and it's fun, fast, and just like a game. One more thing. Every photo relay feature, such as deleting, sharing, and locking, can be done with one touch swipe. It is revolutionary. So using Taggle, you can find photos just in seconds. Let's check out how users use. Select your multi-tags step by step, then you can find certain photos and share them faster. Also, you can lock photos with passcode. In a second, we all have private photos, right? Deleting useless and duplicate photos with one touch. Then you're done for today. When you take new photos each day, we notify with push and badge for tagging. It's like checking your email every day. Our users have to come back to find photo with tabs. You know, Chrome replaced the pre-installed Internet Explorer. WhatsApp replaced the pre-installed SMS in smartphones. So has WeChat. Just like that, Taggle will replace the pre-installed photo gallery in smartphones. Because all smartphones are photo types and old-fashioned photo gallery from PC days. Our potential users are 4 billion. We now started to replace the gallery in emerging market with MOX partner. They have 100 million Android phones in Southeast Asia and India. Also, we are going global to US and Europe. How about competitors? Apple Photo is confusing to organizing photos. Their album system is soft. And Google Photos auto tagging has a lot of mistakes. Taggle is faster and different in terms of organizing and finding photos with cooler UI and UX. We have 3 business models. First, Taggle is for free if users watch ads. Second, we will provide freemium photo cloud service with cheap subscription. Third, we will approach to platform service just like WeChat. Introducing our team, I'm the CEO Hyunjae. When I'm 19, I won a Digital Creative Award from Samsung, and I invented a selfie device and apps for iPhone. It covered in various tech media. I've achieved $100 million of revenue within 2 months. Also, I have 10 years of experience in web and mobile industry. Taggle is my third startup. And our engineers have over 7 years experience. And we are all photo geeks, and very excited to build world's best photo gallery. These are our mentors and backers. I really want to thank them for their precious advice. We launched both Android and iOS last month, and Taggle was ranked top 4 in photo app category on App Store in Korea. We acquired 600,000 users just in a month. No, it's the wrong number. This morning, we broke 1 million users. That is fine. Our retention rate is 27% in 7 days. The number is improving. And our weekly relaunch rate is over 40%. It's a remarkable number. Our vision is to be the next mobile platform based on photo. Because people take photos every day and use gallery every day, now and the future. Today, we are raising $1 billion to go fast. We want to scale faster and achieve our vision with you. Let's change the world. Please come and find for a tip. Just look for Taggle. Thank you.
Wow. So that is MOX. Those are the teams that represent Batch 1. Let's give them one big round of applause, everybody. Thank you guys so much.